Hi, this is Jeff Bennett, and you have probably heard me somewhere on one of your many devices over the last 30, 35 years as, maybe the voice of Johnny Brubble. Ha! Or, Brooklyn. Or maybe you've heard me as Dexter's dad. Or Mr. Smee. Or perhaps Prowl. And right now, I just wanted you to know that we are listening to In Conversation with Amber Jones. Please enjoy, baby. Ha!
Hello everybody, Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. Now my guest today, oh my goodness, you are in for a treat. You may know my guest as the voice of Horace IQ Boothroyd, yes, Horace IQ Boothroyd in James Bond Jr., one of my favourites.
Wow, that's going back. That is going back to the beginning.
Yeah, I think it was your first voice role, if I remember correctly. You sound a little...
IQ. Yes, I think it was IQ, James. With the great Corey Burton. Yes.
Oh my god! Wow! I can't wait to talk to you about. I really can't wait to talk to you about that. My guess, all the credits include Brooklyn and Owen Burnett in Gargoyles, the titular character Johnny Bravo, Dexter and Dee Dee's dad in Dexter's Lab. Remember, Saturdays are made for dads and Dad's Car. I mean, it's not Saturday, it's Friday. We can pretend today is Saturday, so that's
yeah, let's pretend.
And also Prowl. Oh goodness, his legs are going. Ultra Magnus. That's what happens when I don't look at my camera.
That's great.
He used to talk, but he doesn't now. But it's the Japanese figure, because I ordered it from Japan.
And does he speak in Japanese?
Yes, he does. I do have a video from when he did speak in Japanese, but now he just refuses.
Arigato. Arigato.
Yes, I'll have to say. I think I had to say to that video. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Soundwave, Captain Fanzone, Angry Archer, and more in Transformers Animated. Huxley, Prescott, and Mayor Luskey, an Emmy award-winning performance, by the way, in Transformers Rescue Bots.
Who'd have thunk?
Who'd have thought? Oh my, I'm so proud of you for that. Axiom and Theorem in Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015. Ace in the Powerpuff Girls. That's one for you Gorillas fans. We'll get into that for sure. The Man in the Yellow Hat in Curious George. And various characters for Disney, including Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast, Merlin from The Sword and the Stone, Jasper from 101 Dalmatians, Bones and Mr. Smee, Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I got them all. Me, right here.
Love it.
15-year-old me is screaming inside right now.
Wow. Love it.
Definitely. I'm so... Oh, this is so crazy. Annie award-winning performance. Kowalski in The Penguins of Madagascar. The Joker in Batman, The Brave and the Bold. Jack Ryder, the Creeper in the new Batman Adventures, and other projects such as Batman Caped Crusader, X-Men 97, Puppy Dog Pals, Tough Puppy, Pound Puppies, lots of puppies today in there, Animaniacs, Jungle Cubs, Ozzy and Drake's The Replacements, and many more. My guest is the legendary Jeff Bennett. Hi Jeff.
Hey, Amber. Wow, that is, I'm glad you count, because I don't, but I may hold the record for, the most shows with the word puppy in it. I'm not sure.
I think you do.
Because, and literally, like lately, I've done some of Pupstruction, which is another one. And yeah, Pound Puppy. You mentioned Pound Puppies, and then there was another one with puppies in it. But I don't. There's so many puppies. Pretzel. Something about pretzels.
Pretzel and the Puppy Dogs.
Pretzel and the Puppy Dogs. That was it. I mean, for like a whole year, I was doing nothing but puppy shows.
Pretzel and the Puppies. That was close enough. I'm a dog lover. I should know all this. Well,
so that's for government work.
Well, I am so humbled right now. Thank you so much for saying yes to this. You are one of my dream guests, and you've always been one of my dream guests. And just to meet you in person at the lovely little gathering we had at Andrea Romano's house was just absolutely it was divine. It was out of this world, and to get to know you, you are a fantastic human being. Your career is so unique. There's different scales, different I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm trying to think. There's different parts, and I don't know. I'm thinking of a word, but I can't remember what it is. There's just different. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. Your career is so unique.
Maybe ranges. I don't know.
Think so. Yes, yes. Your career is there's different ranges of characters and stuff like that. There we go. I should have thought about it before we started. But
Well, that's
honestly,
what we love. That's
yes.
you know, that's so much of the fun of doing it is you know, I'll have people come up to me at the cons and say, you know, fans say, "Wow, I didn't even know that was you," and I had no idea that was you. I wouldn't think it was the same person, and you know, that's what I'm going for. It's like, you know, I don't want you to know it's the same person usually. You know, it's like if I can fool you, then I'm still doing my job.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, as I said, thank you so much, and I apologise. I'm wearing Rocco's One Live t-shirt. But I mean, you're friends with Carlos Alazraki, right? Aren't you?
It's in his name, so why not? Yeah. Well, we did Camp Laszlo together, so...
Yes, Camp Laszlo! Oh, that's another one I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry.
Oh, please.
I mean,
Yeah, we would have been here for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Phew.
Yeah,
Okay.
Camp Laszlo was a great cast. Him, Tom Kenny, Steve Little. I mean, all the, you know, just an incredible cast.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
We had so much fun in between.
Oh, yeah.
While we were doing the cartoon, you know, it's like, you know, they have to calm us all down just so we can do the cartoon. I think that was during the Bush years, and we were doing political jokes in between. But yeah, Carlos is great. Always great.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Now, Jeff, okay, I've always wanted to ask you this. How did you get started as a voice actor? What sort of drove you into the acting business? Had you always wanted to be an actor, or did you? What is there anything?
Yeah, I started out in the theater back in Houston, Texas, and did maybe 6 or 7 seasons at a regional theater there. So, but it was always important to me to find the voice of the character, whatever I was doing, because I enjoyed doing character parts.
Yeah.
And usually it was really hard for me to find the character and until I found the voice. So that was a big part of it for me. So that was always something that I was really focused on. And then when I came out here, I was just, you know, looking for any film, TV, anything, and just kind of fell into the voiceover world. And I met a guy named Tom Pinto, who was doing voiceover demos for Sutton Bartham Vernari, but he also had there was an agent there whose name was Linda Behrman, and she was looking for new talent because she was about to go to a different agency. So I did my voiceover demo. She had me come in and read a few things and everything, and then she decided to represent me at the time it was Joseph Heldfon and Ricks. It was Don Pitts who represented Casey Kasem, I think Mel Blanc, all of these, you know, original June Foray, a lot of the old cartoon animation voices.
And Bill Scott.
From Bill Scott.
Everybody.
Yeah. So, like when I don't know if you've heard the Casey Kasem thing where he's the outtake of him talking about when you come out of an up-tempo number into a, you know, a whole thing about a damn dog, and then he says, "Get Don on the phone. Get Don on the phone." He's talking about Don Pitts, and that's where I was for a while. And then she decided, I guess they wanted her back at Sutton Bartham Vernari, so I ended up going back with her, and then that's when things started to kind of take off for me, and that was right before James Bond Jr. happened. And I met Corey probably weeks before. I was actually thinking, I told him, I said, you know, I'm thinking about doing Sublu's workshop because she had like a voiceover workshop for animation at the time. And I was, you know, I was like signed up, ready to go. And then we auditioned for James Bond Jr. and I ended up getting a couple of the parts. And Sublu was like, you don't need to do my workshop. It's going to be a workshop coming and doing the show. So just come and do the show. It was like, you know, back in that day, we would start with 65 episodes. So it was literally like just learning on the job, and it was great. And Corey was so wonderful as a friend and mentor at the time. And he actually said when we were auditioning, I remember him saying, well, I think we'll see each other very soon. I think we'll see each other very soon. And weeks later, we were working on the show. So that was great. Or maybe it was a month later or something like that. But yeah. Yeah, pretty cool.
God, that cracked me up. I spoke to Corey a few years ago, and that's literally just 100% accurate. I love that. I was waiting for you. I was like, and he said, I was like, he's going to do the impression. I was like...
we spent so much time together doing different Disney shows, and certainly Hook and Smee and all of that.
Yes.
And he was instrumental in me doing Smee as well, because we were working on, it was one of the, I can't remember what it was. It was like somewhere in the mid-90s,
one of those animated storybook video games.
Yeah, it was something. It might have been one of the movies, or straight to video or something.
Ah, right.
And I was doing another character, and Jamie Thomason was directing, and asked if I would read in Smee, because they had, Corey was reading as Smee against himself.
Yeah, I think he
was just going back and forth for pages and pages. So Jamie said, "Would you mind reading in?" And I said, "Of course, sure, I'll read in." And I just did, my silly version of Smee or whatever. And then at some point, like a couple of days later, I think Corey said, "Well, why don't you just have Jeff do Smee? Because I'm talking to myself this whole movie, and it's enough doing Hook paragraph after paragraph of the Hook stuff, And then he said, "I think I'd be more comfortable if you just let Jeff do Mr. Smee." So that's how that kind of started, and then we ended up doing, other shows and movies together doing that.
Yeah, of course. I've got to talk about Jake and the Neverland Pirates. It was a special interest when I was 15. I absolutely loved the show. I always watch it on DVD and Disney Plus. And I've now spoken. Of course, I spoke to Corey during COVID. I've spoken to Lauren Hoskins. I've now spoken to you. Essentially, I'm getting all the villains of the show, and it's making my 15-year-old inside happy.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Definitely. Yeah, I wondered. Yeah, I mean, I did ask Lauren, because it was him and I think it was Kevin Hendrickson, obviously, who were, they were the Neverland Pirate Band. And I was like, why didn't Kevin provide Bones' voice in the show? And he's like, I think maybe because Lauren was from an acting side. He had done acting before, but Kevin had not. Yeah. So they brought you in to do Bones. And I was going to ask, where did the voice of Bones sort of come from? Because he doesn't sound like Kevin at all.
Yeah.
He's British, just like me.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm trying to remember how he came up with that, but I think it was, we'd gone back and forth with something. They said, well, we want to keep it a little higher and clearer.
Keep it away from Mr. Smee, because he's obviously very fuzzy and down, a little bit sort of asthmatic and lower.
And so they wanted to keep it a little higher, and I was remembering, because I was a big Monty Python and the Holy Grail fan.
It was, yeah.
To make him a little bit, because he was kind of skinny, and
to make him a little more, like he had this break in his voice all the time. I was thinking of a character
in Monty Python and the Holy Grail who says, someday, son, all of this will be yours. And he said, what, the curtains? No, not the curtains, like. It was that scene, and I was thinking about that voice, and I was like,
"Oh, what if that character, was sort of in there?"
And so that's how it came out.
My cheeks are gonna be hurting from smiling as when we're done with this.
I don't know where I'd be without Monty Python, and those. There were so many of those that I lifted, as they say, lift from the best.
Hey,
as I always say, and so. Yeah, I ended up, I think at one point I did an Eric Idle parrot in a movie, and I do not remember the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do remember, he was like one of those guys that talk like this, and the parrot just talked like that the whole time. And apparently, I guess he couldn't do it. He was off doing something else, so they had me sub in for him and then kept me in the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. I love it when the British actors don't show up.
All right, that's my trip off in March then. Not happen.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Captain Bog and Salty. They are the Neverland Pirate Band, but they were part of Captain Bog and Salty back in Portland, Oregon. That's what I was thinking of. Yes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's what. Who was it? Bob's or one of those guys had
Bob's
seen.
Ganaway.
Yeah, Bob's Ganaway had seen him, I think, and brought them in.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Definitely.
Man, we had some interesting music in that show.
Yeah, definitely. Now this is one thing I want to bring up because obviously I've heard the story that Corey was sort of a bit unsure about bringing Captain Hook into a series for preschoolers, but it was Kelly Ward, of course. I mean, he's somewhere. I think. Oh, he's up there. Hang on.
Yeah. He's right there.
He suggested maybe you could do Hook and Smee as a vaudevillian act with Jeff. I just want to know what was working about. Did you do any group sessions with Corey, or did you sometimes mainly do it?
Oh yeah, we actually did most of them. At that time, we did, or at least the two of us worked together.
Yeah.
Which was great because so much of the stuff is like it really is like a little vaudeville act with Hook and Smee. So I was really so grateful that they had us both in the booth at the same time for that because it makes a huge difference. It really does. I mean, hearing a line one way and then hearing it another, and this, you'll react in different ways.
Yeah.
So even through 3 or 4 readings in a row, I go, oh, well, I'm going to react in a totally different way vocally than if he had said it the last way. So
yeah.
I think that was really key in that show. So, yeah, and we had a blast, of course.
Definitely, yeah.
It was hard to leave those sessions.
Yeah, and I think Cameron Boyce was one of the voices for Jake as well, and I think he passed away. I think he was very young. He was only maybe about, I think, in his teens. Do you remember working with Cameron Boyce?
Yeah.
I think he was the second voice for Jake, because I think it was about 4.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't even realize that it happened. Wow.
Yeah, it was 2019 he passed away. I remember talking with Corey about it, and he was like, yeah, he was so young, we used to see him in and out when we were sort of passing each other, going in, out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Wow. No, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy, but that's when, my obsession started, I'm not sure if it was then, but, just time flies, my word, like, it's just... I don't believe it. It just seems so long ago now that I was so into that show and stuff and just, reaching out to everyone and stuff like that. And just, I think it's quite magical, honestly. I think, yeah, Hook and Smee have a special place in my heart. And, when you did Smee, I was like, I have been healed. I have been healed. It's just...
Yeah. The 15-year-old in you. I love that.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Love it. Now, of course, I've got to move on to the most predominant subject of this interview: Transformers, robots in disguise.
Yeah.
So I've got it. He moves. Ultra Magnus. He does move. He's very sensitive. So when you move any of, he will just, even if it's just the slightest touch, he'll just. That will transform in sound.
Those are amazing, and at the
I know.
TFCon, I mean, all of the different toys that everybody has, as well as the cosplay is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that is a whole Magnus Opum thing you've got going on there, in the costume.
Yeah, definitely.
They won't be able to breathe for 8 hours, but it's amazing. It's amazing what people do, and the toys are incredible.
Yeah, definitely. And at TFCon, you just got probably the greatest cosplayers of all time. You also got them at TF Nation over here, and just it's just,
right.
It's such. They put so much love into these costumes and stuff, and it must take, I don't know, months to make probably, but just I would not be able to do that at all.
Right. No, me either. It is impressive.
So, Jeff, I want to know, how did you get into the Transformers franchise? I mean, obviously it was animated that you first came into it, but how did it sort of get started for you? What was your audition like? Did you audition just for Prowl, or was there any others that you decided to do?
That was one where literally, there were so many characters that it was kind of like the old days. I remember, many years ago, we'd walk in to the studio. There'd be the character renderings and the dialogue, and you'd pick like 4 or 5 or 6. And the director would have you, one by one go through each one, and it was kind of like that with Transformers, and it was great because, like for Fan Zone, they're like, "What, how do you see this guy?" And I was like, "Well, to me, just the way he's drawn, and this really helps, which we don't get a lot nowadays, is to actually see the character. So much now, I very rarely see an animated character drawn on audition now. It's just whatever, make it up in your mind. We're wide open to what it could be, which kind of hurts in some ways because you can't narrow it into something that you'd like to do. So like with Fan Zone, I was like, well, he looks like, the Chicago actor Dennis Franz that used to do, he's a Hill Street Blues guy in back, and he was a cop. So they were like, oh yeah, that's great. Dennis Franz would be great. So I did him that way, and Prowl, because of the way he was described as more like sort of the Zen transformer of them. I tried to keep him very cerebral and calm, and try to keep him in that sort of, and yet keeping somewhat robotic in a way, but and that was, it just went on from there. And I it's one of those where you go, oh, well, you've been cast as like, I think, though, some of the characters didn't come along until later. So, we had, by the time we were done, I think Corey and I and a couple of other people were doing like 5 characters, when we'd only been cast as like 2 or 3 up front. But that's, that's how it goes sometimes. And then you get your session, your episode where all of your characters are in the show. You're like, I'm talking to myself the entire show, but it was great. And again, what an amazing cast. I mean, David Kaye, everybody was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. There's some of the guest stars they brought in: Fred Willard, Weird Al Yankovic,
right.
Everyone.
Right.
Lance Hendrickson, just crazy.
Yeah.
What was it like working with the guest stars?
Where we got to see each other, and everybody was in the room at the same time, and it was great.
I know, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do that now.
They gotta bring that back. It's
Everyone's
important.
recording at home.
It's important. Yeah.
And even then, you just yeah. And then of course you returned to the franchise for Rescue Bots, where you voiced Huxley, Prescott, Luskey, and many other characters. Now this one, wow, I mean, a good cast on this one as well. But like, I'm intrigued. Did you get to meet Tim Curry? He voiced Dr. Morocco.
I had met Tim before.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what show. It might have been.
You can make me look it up now. Hang on.
Impossible or something. It might have been Kim Possible or. But yeah, I mean, we had met each other over the years a few times and spoken, and he's he's a sweetheart.
Definitely.
Gentleman. Very funny, just naturally funny.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I didn't work with him on that particular show, and they did have me come in with a few other people. Sometimes it was the whole cast, but my character had a lot of it was usually cut to, and Huxley is like freaking out over something that's happening, the reporter, and I have got it. It is right here. And the mayor, so they were kind of separate from the group usually a lot. So then they would have me come in separately sometimes. So I didn't see them as much, but yeah, fun. It was such a fun show, and so different in the Transformers universe.
Yeah, because made for preschoolers, weren't it?
Yeah. I know that a lot of kids just absolutely love that show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They're not kids anymore. But...
I've got a friend who absolutely loves Dr. Morocco and anything to do with him, and I'm like, I will meet Tim Curry one day and I will tell you about him.
Yeah.
I will tell him about you. Yeah, so it's a wonderful show, and I'm so glad that the adult fans in the franchise do like it, as much as the children that it was aimed at.
Right.
And then you returned for Robots in Disguise 2015. What was it like to come back again and do? I mean, you were still doing Rescue Bots at the time, so I think Rescue Bots ran until 2016, so it was running alongside that. Yeah,
and that was was that was Axiom and Theorem? Was that the one? Because I literally get my Transformers mixed up.
Yeah, that was Axiom and
Theorem. Shows, because we had so many iterations of them. But yeah, I think I was only on a couple of episodes maybe of that. Mm-hmm. So that was a very brief Transformers period for me. But again, really good cast, and they had a lot of fun with it, and great people to work with. It was just, it's like, I forget a lot of these things over the years because it's like, when was that? That was at the same time this was happening.
That's okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry.
That was our life. I mean, that's a good thing. It's a good problem to have, over the years. Like, well, now you need to be here, and there was a period where it was just like all Disney shows or just Nickelodeon shows or different Universal shows that were happening. So that overlap was, because you'd be there for 1 or 2 hours and then you were somewhere else for 2 or 3. So a lot of it now has like been somewhat erased from the memory. I go, wait, when did I do that? I was just at LA Studios a few months ago. Mm-hmm. And I hadn't seen those guys. They have gray hair now where they didn't, and so do I. And some of the engineers, Carlos and those guys are still working there after 30 years. And I remember doing Jake and the Pirates and so many shows, like 101 Dalmatians, I think. No, that was Screen Music. We did that at Screen Music. But it was wild just being back there because I hadn't done anything at LA Studios in forever. Yeah. So, that was really cool.
So, because there is so much stuff that we've got to talk about, I'm going to save some of the topics for part 2, which I don't know when it's going to be filmed, but you never know. We'll arrange it sometime in the future. But I want to end off this interview, Jeff, with a few fan questions that people have submitted. I did put on social media that I was talking to you, and I don't want to let anyone down. So without further ado, here we go. Now, Ernesto wants to know, how did you make your voice of Petrie different from Will Ryan's portrayal in The Land Before Time?
Yeah, well, to start with, they originally wanted it to sound enough like him for the character. And I'm not sure why it was that he couldn't do the videos, but so I had listened to it and I studied what he did, and I just tried to find that same quality, and it was just like
kind of keeping it in here most of time. Yes.
And he always had these little hesitations that he did and everything that I tried to incorporate into the character. And but yeah, I guess I did a little bit of my own take on it as well. And I mean, my gosh, we ended up doing like 14 of those videos, straight to video. It was like the dinosaurs never died in our universe. There was no
there's no fossils.
No reason for the dinosaurs to perish.
Nope.
So yeah, that was it. I just put my own spin on it a little bit and tried to keep it in that range. But originally, they did want it to sound enough like the character,
awesome.
You know, to carry it on. But I'm sure most kids could tell.
I'm not the Petrie I love.
No, we're on 15th movie. Another one? Oh, you must be joking.
I know. I don't know how they came up with so many storylines, but you know, we had amazing, like the composers. I think for the second or third one, we had the Roaches, the band, the Roaches did the soundtrack and the songs, and they were great. And then we had Leslie Brickus.
Wow.
Did one of them, and he did like all the old Anthony Newley shows back in the day, which most people, even my age, some of them don't know who that is. He did Stop the World, I Want to Get Off, and Roar of the Grease Paint, Smell of the Grease Paint, Roar of the Crowd. So he did old, like, original musicals in your neighborhood, and then did some of the songs for Land Before Time. In fact, did he do the one that I did as Ozzy? I don't think that was Leslie Brickus, but the eggs song, that might have been the Roaches that did that. No.
Maybe. I'll have to look into it. Super Mario Plush Boy 85 asks, how did you get involved with the Penguins of Madagascar? Because obviously you didn't voice Kowalski in the films; it was Chris Miller. Were you brought in for the television series? How did it work for you? How did it go for you? Yeah,
I mean, they just auditioned, and they said, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly like. I mean, we're getting an approximation of what is happening in the movies, but do your own take on it, and we want it to be a little bit more, he's more cerebral and more scientific, and for some reason, I was just thinking something I was doing at the time, I was thinking he's kind of like, I wanted to do a take that was a little bit like Peterman from Seinfeld, but with my own thing on it. You know, Elaine, he had that whole thing where he would go up and say, I don't know, Elaine. And so I did that, and they just liked that version of Kowalski, and that's how I ended up doing it that way. But talk about a great cast.
Definitely. Yeah, I think John DiMaggio was in it as well. Yeah. Fun guys. Yeah. Definitely.
We got in trouble a lot. Lisa Schaefer had to break us up many times.
I bet. It must have been really fun. It's been a fly to... I wish to be a fly on the wall in everything that you do, Jeff.
Well, the thing is, like, I always say, I wish we had more B-roll on these shows, because had we known at the time that, you know, we're not going to be doing cast recordings much longer, you know, there would have been a great documentary we could have done with all the B-roll. And I mean, the engineers have some good stuff in between, you know, as far as sound goes, but, you know, as far as like visually, you know, there's not a lot there. And there've been documentaries done anyway, but we would have had some really good footage from that particular show. Yeah, we did our own parodies while we were doing the show, which, you know, never, of course, made it onto the show, but
yeah,
they were fun.
Oh, well. I hope they're not lost. I really hope they're not lost. It'd be great to see them someday.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely. Now, I only have time for one more question, so those who did comment a question, You will be answered. That is a threat. You will be answered in part 2.
Part 2. Yes.
I'm going to Paris this summer, so it makes total sense.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great.
Disneyland Paris. Finally going to meet Huck and Smee. I didn't cast them at Anaheim, so yeah, you know. Glacier wants to know. They want you to answer this as Prowl. Glacier wants you to answer this as Prowl. What kind of music does Prowl prefer, if at all, or if he only likes silence?
Silence, then strike. So sometimes listening to punk after silence. I don't know, or maybe actually he might be like a new age kind of guy. You know, it's like very, very calming, classical, a little bit of Brahms, you know, Prokofiev, something in there.
Yeah.
Or a little new age piano, calming flute. I think he might be a flute guy, you know, Andean flute.
Yes, he would. He'd be like of like the ocarinas, like a
yeah,
one of those. Yeah,
yeah, something that sounds like, you know, you're in the mountains and the clouds.
Yeah,
yeah, like in the forest. I like forest music. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, Jeff, I wish we had more time, but as I said, it will all be saved for part 2. Thank you ever so much for doing this little thing with me. And to those at home, do not panic if you did ask a question. It has not gone unnoticed. It has not gone unnoticed. It's in my notes. It is in the notes on the side of my screen. There's more stuff that we did not cover. We will get to it. We will get there when we get there. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff, thank you so much for coming on my show for a little chat. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. Thank you. The pleasure was mine. And we'll do part 2.
It sounds like a plan, definitely. Let's get it in the works for sure. To you at home, thank you so much for watching this episode of In Conversation with ATF. Part 2 of In Conversation with ATF Jeff Bennett will be coming out in the near future, so stick around for that. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye! And cut.